So today is going to not be any more short than amazing than all the other shows in the past, even with Undiscovered, because today we are jam-packed with vocalists, burlesque dancers, Mrs. Nevada 2023, photographer and director. We are hitting all the marks of what Las Vegas is all about in entertainment. So after the break, I will see you, and we will start off with an amazing vocal impressionist, Billy Fischer. See you after the break.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located on Silverado Ranch, here in Henderson, Nevada. Restore, relax, and refresh. Let's not forget our very own Meryl and Merrick comedy show. This fun, comical TV sitcom duo with Social Media Source Network loves to make you laugh. Mahel Empire Productions. It's a filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Founded by Michael and Sonny Mahal, and are dedicated to making feature films. Turn your power on with Broken Bulb Productions. Owned by Russell Rapp, an independent filmmaker based out of New Jersey.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Hot Seat with Priscilla, probably the most exciting thing that you're going to watch every single Wednesday here on social media shows. As I said, we have a lot going on today, so we're going to jump right into it. I know we're a little early, but hey, the more time we have, the more time we can spend with these amazing people. So up first, we have a vocal impressionist and musician, Billy Fischer here, and we're going to welcome him right now, and I cannot wait for you guys to learn about his story, and he may or may not be performing at the end. So everyone, please welcome Billy Fischer. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Priscilla.
Nice
to meet you,
Nice
Priscilla.
to meet you.
Very
Welcome
nice
to the show. Please take a seat.
All right. Oh, I got to jump
Sitting
up
on the
here.
hot seat. How does
Yeah,
it feel?
that's
Hope not too hot.
Hey.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. This is the first time we're meeting. You know, I read a little bit into your story. You know, you're from the Midwest, so am I. I'm from Chicago.
Is that right?
Ohio, right?
You know, yeah, we all get along when it comes to the weather.
Yeah, that's the most thing we talk about, but everyone has that vibe from the
Yes,
Midwest,
exactly
you know? It's
right.
just like we're really down-to-earth, humble people, which I love.
Yes.
So let's just get to it. So you're a musician, you play a lot of instruments, and you studied opera, right?
Oh, no, I went to an opera coach for vocal lessons.
So vocal
yes,
training in opera.
Yes, I was losing my voice at the end of some gigs that I was in a rock and roll band, and I knew I was doing something wrong, and it was breathing technique was all wrong. So an opera coach taught me the proper ways to breathe, and it helped a lot.
And the support, yeah.
Yes, big time, yes.
Yeah, because it's really important. I know, going to theater school, we talk about this. Like learning how to take care of it and sing properly will give you longevity.
I learned it's an instrument just like an instrument would be. You know, you have to rehearse and practice. You got to do that with your vocals too. And when I moved out here, I'm from Cleveland originally, so 5 years ago I moved out here. And when I did move out here, I got a polyp on my vocal cord. And I went to a doctor, and they said, well, we can have surgery, or we can send you to a speech therapist to take care of it. I'm like, okay. So I went to a speech therapist. There was more vocal exercises to do, way more. And then also certain foods that not to eat that affects your vocals. Some good stuff. Garlic, blueberries, tomatoes.
Yeah, acid things,
That's
right?
all, and I shrunk that down to nothing. So I'm happy to say that, I watch everything now. I still eat that stuff, but not when it comes to, if I know I have a show coming up, I stay away from it, and I do all these other vocal exercises. And I'm able to sing even higher and vocal-wise as far as falsetto and stuff. It's stronger because of that.
Right. So, that's another thing with singers. We hear a lot about health for body-wise in this industry and entertainment.
Yes.
But also it affects little simple things like, people don't think of that. Voice, even vocal, hearing, intuition, things like that.
No.
All of these things feed into every little detail.
Exactly. I talk with a rasp anyhow because I'm breathing wrong when I'm talking. But when I sing, I know where to go with it. So,
that's amazing. So let's talk about your vocal technique. So now you train with opera to kind of help with the support, but then also you're talking about you're a natural tenor. Is that correct?
I'm a tenor 2.
Okay.
Which is one up from a tenor, and then I have a falsetto voice that I've always had, and just blessed. I worked at it. I always thought everybody can do it, but I realized later in life,
No,
I
you
can't hit those
know,
notes,
that's
right?
amazing.
Yeah, and you get up there in age, and I've had some old time musicians. Oh, I can't hit these notes anymore because of my age. And I realized that as I get their age, no, again, it goes back to taking care of your voice.
Right,
It's an
and
instrument.
making sure you're not pushing and straining.
You know, drinking, smoking, all that stuff. I mean, if you do any of that stuff, do it on the low down. You know, don't do it as much,
Be very
and
aware.
you'll get your voice back. Yeah.
Yes. So let's go back. So you started. Did you always start with singing? Or did you start with instruments first?
No, I started singing. I got 4 brothers. My mom wrote music, note for note. She could write these songs, and she couldn't sing a lick. But she passed when I was young, so my brothers and I there's such a musical influence in all my siblings. I'm the second youngest, so my oldest brother is the classic rock and stuff, and then my sister's the bubblegum Motown. Wow. And I got another sister and so I got influence of all the genres. And again, my mom writing the 50s stuff, and I just was influenced by Johnny Mathis and Nat King Cole, the Mills Brothers, as far as vocals. Yeah. So you just take that along with classic rock and Eagles and America and the Doobie Brothers, Hall & Oates, that harmony stuff. I love it.
That's great.
So I've always been able to sing harmony, and again, that was another thing I thought everybody could do. As if you sing, you can hold your own. No, you can't. So I'm blessed knowing that I can do that.
Yeah, and you kind of it's like an Osmond family here. Every single one in your family has some musical talent.
And my brother's the reason why I got into bands, because I watched him in bands as a youngster, and I got into it and never got out of it. And I was in a trio with my brothers before I moved out here to Vegas. There was a 3-piece with my little brother and my oldest brother. And I have another brother who's now working with my oldest brother back home in Ohio to do their thing. But I've been in bands, wrote original music with my first band called Lost Children. We gave back to the community by giving to children's charities. Because we all came from broken homes, that's why we call them Lost Children. So, and that's what started my future as far as keeping it going. I never gave it up. So
was it always your dream when you were younger to do this professionally full time?
I really didn't have a dream of going professional full time. I mean, I had a day job. I worked for a law firm back in Ohio for 25 plus years, as well as other odd jobs. But I've always stayed in music. I'd come home from my regular job and go right to a gig. Once I made the move to Vegas here, my wife and I got 2 grown children and 2 grandchildren from a previous marriage back home in Ohio. My current wife, she said, let's go. And she's my provider as far as health care, so I can do my thing musically here. And I've been able to do that. I mean, I've filled in with Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns on vocals. They have a group, Jerry Lopez, called the Windjammers. It's a yacht rock type of group. I filled in on vocals for them. I've done a variety show through Desert Production, Ed Matthews, when I first moved out here. Vegas style show. And that's what I did back home in Ohio for a local radio guy who was the #1 radio guy in Ohio. He passed away a year and a half ago. But I was part of his children's charity for Coats for Kids for 10 years. And I'd fly home. When I moved out here, I said, I'm flying home. I'll do it. I don't care. And so moving out here, it felt like home doing these Vegas-style shows because I was doing it in Ohio. Yeah. So I just got involved in all these other projects through meeting all the right people, and the Italian-American Club. I was a regular there in the lounge, and I've done Spotlight there for some of the shows. And anything I can dip my hands in, I will. Lanny Counts is a great entertainer out here. I did a vocal background for him. I just got in touch, got in contact with a guy named Paul X. Campanella. He's an actor / musician, and he reached out, wants me to do vocals, background vocals for him at one of the shows with Nikki Logan, who's a tremendous vocalist herself.
That's amazing. So you're booked and busy.
Yeah, I'm doing all kinds of things, which is what I like to do. I did a Eagles tribute a few weeks ago for a group called Album Palooza. John Minetti runs that. And basically his organization is they do all these tribute shows with Album Palooza. So they do a Beach Boys, they do a Doobie Brothers / Steve Miller that I'm going to be part of next month, next couple weeks actually. And then I did an Eagles thing for him. So if I can get that going and keep it going, I'm good. Don't need to keep rattling off, but I want to cram it all in. Bee Gees Gold. It's a They're like there's the Australian Bee Gees on the Strip. This is Bee Gees Gold. They travel all around the country. I did about 6 or 7 gigs with them, and I just filled in 3 weeks ago with them in Chicago. Now I don't look it, but I shave and I play Robin Gibb and sing all the high parts.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got the voice for it. You can do that. The Bee
I can
Gees,
hit the
yeah. Not everyone can probably sing or be a tribute artist.
No, yeah, and my last important thing is I'm with a tribute called Crosby, Stills and Nash Tribute. It's a CSN Express, and I play David Crosby. So play the guitar and play David Crosby. And we were on the road prior to COVID, and that's starting to happen again. So
yeah, that's amazing. So how many instruments do you play?
I play bass and acoustic guitar. I have some percussion instruments and some harp.
Oh wow! Okay.
There's other things I'd love to get into, but I just never learned it. But
you're just naturally musically inclined.
I mean, it's all by ear. Nothing's on paper. I never took educated classes. It just all comes natural, and sometimes that can hurt me or help me. You know what I mean? Because
at the end of the day, you have the talent.
Yeah, you feel it in your heart to do
what
you need to do.
It's more of a creative when you have something to build on. So you can always learn more as time goes on, but you know the fundamentals of what you do. That kind of keeps you on track and know that, okay, I'm never going to be satisfied.
No.
There's a lot of people that study and they're like, okay, I think I got it. And then they don't think they can grow. When you're creative naturally, you just can see that you just want to get better and better and better.
When I hear old-timers say that, and I don't mean to call them old-timers, but when I hear them say, I'm no better than my next song, I can always grow, that's what I love. I want to learn.
It's true. You don't want to stay in one place.
No, because then
moves on,
if you set yourself thinking you got it, you're going to bomb.
Exactly.
I mean, you may not think you are, but other people are going to see it.
Because even if something works today, and let's just say like you're not someone that grows, 10 years from now it might not. That's just because the world moves, the industry moves, everything changes, new things are coming and going all the time, and it's about staying true to yourself, but also seeing, okay, it's like a challenge. I feel like as a creative, we all kind of like that. All right, well, what can I do next? You surprise yourself a little bit.
Oh, exactly. Right? That's why when a dream was brought, what's your dream? I really didn't dream of this. It's just happening, which is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a show I'm part of called Vegas 3 with Carmine Mandia and Genevieve the three of us do this Vegas-style show where Carmine's the host and I'm a co-host, and we have guest artists.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing. We've been doing that once a month.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, so this is it's Vegas Beyond the Strip.
Vegas Beyond the Strip,
and they have multiple different segments, and yours is called Vegas 3. I want to make sure the audience here to look that up. And that whole network kind of centers around a lot of performers, a lot of bands, a lot of singers.
All the local talent in town. And there's so many great people. Great entertainers. And they happen to go on this show as well. And it's free. You can log on to Vegas Beyond the Strip and sign up for free and watch all of our shows.
Yeah, I saw there's some people, some of my friends are on some of those shows, some people that have been on here are on those. So it's a really tight-knit community, and it's great just getting out there, getting them marketed and getting them promoted.
And when I moved out here, I didn't realize how small really the town is when it comes to local people. And that's what I love. Even Ohio, Cleveland, it's not as small. I've met so many people here locally, musically, more than back home.
Yes.
And I thought I knew a lot of local musicians back home. No.
Yeah, it's very different. Even if it seems like a bigger city than Vegas, it's because everything's so spread out. It's so segregated. There's so many things going on that you don't really interact with that many people at one time.
No.
Vegas, you kind of have to. If you're someone in this industry, you will eventually meet each other or work on something. Even though we do your music, your singing, but I'm sure I would have caught you at one of my friends' shows or involved with their show, right? Yeah. So it's all kind of integrated, and as long as you know the right people. And so what I love about you, and I want to point this out to the audience, is that you know the word hustle. You know that you love it enough that if you're going to get anywhere, you know how to put the work in there. You're here, there, everywhere. You're just doing it because you love it. But at the same time, you know that, hey, I have to get up and I got to go do it.
Exactly.
I have to chase the thing. No one's going to come to me. I can't sit at home and wait, right?
Yes.
And then you made the move also. And then when you came here, you're like, all right, let's set it up. Let's go. Let's go see. Right?
Exactly. when I get these calls, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And some I've never done before as far as, trying something new. Sure, I'll try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'll give it a shot. I love it. I love it.
And I love that you and I think we have some similarities. And also that you don't put yourself in a box. And that's kind of what I'm getting with what you're talking about your career, is that you're like, hey, I want to try it. Hey, I do this, but I also do this. And I've done this. And then you just kind of know that, hey, don't just put me as one type of thing. I can also do, I'm going to surprise you because tomorrow I'm doing something completely different. You know?
Exactly.
And that's amazing because you have the talent for it and you recognized it early on, and then you're just like, hey, let's go for it. Because,
I
a lot of people in
appreciate
the
that.
industry are very like, no, I just want to do this because that's what's going to get me paid. But then they
No.
have so much more potential.
Yeah, no, I'm willing
Right.
to. I'm willing to do anything as long as it's not illegal.
At least on camera. We're not going to talk about it. So, do you also write your own music? I know you sing a lot
I
of covers.
did back in the '80s. My first band, Lost Children. We were a classic rock band. Did 3-part harmony stuff of Doobie Brothers and Eagles and all that. But then we eventually wrote our own material, and then we recorded 13 songs. I think we did. But ever since then, no. I mean, I've got lyrics that I've written that have never gone anywhere. But I mean, I understand where I stand at that. I mean, I'd love to do more, but. And it's my mom. I'd love to record her stuff that she wrote. She really could write. I would need a little help on what I do as far as what I write, and that's I'm honest with myself.
Yeah.
I know I can only go this far with that. How about some help? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have siblings that can probably just fill right
well,
in
yes, but it's not. I'm all about right now just being able to sing and entertain. As far as stuff on the side, is my own stuff. You never know someday. I got like a son that can do all I can do. He can sing, play some instruments, and if he takes my stuff and does something with it, like I want to do with my mom's,
That's amazing.
maybe.
I'm sure your mom would be so proud.
I think she's looking down upon us. She, 6 kids and trying to do the music thing on the side, and so it took me a long time to realize, wow, I can't believe she did what she did.
Yeah.
Her own publishing company and all. It didn't go nowhere, but she did. She has a 45 record with 2 songs that she had another vocalist sing that is ingrained in my head, let me tell you.
Yeah, but I mean, the hardest step always for people is just to make that first step, to do it.
Yes.
Now if you sat there and been like, coulda, woulda, shoulda, she did it.
Yeah.
And then now you guys can live on
And
the
I
legacy.
feel like that I'm carrying on what she wanted.
And that's absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
So was there any performance, because you've done so much, where you literally were on stage, and I've had these moments when I did theater where you're like, this is it, this is what I'm meant to do.
Pinching myself, being on stage would be, yes, working with Jerry Lopez. Before I moved out here, I saw Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, and I said to myself, wow, that's cool, that would be cool, and I did it. Bee Gees, seeing the marquees of Bee Gees Gold, and I'm part of the group as a sub, but I'm part of the group.
Yeah.
So there's not enough. I mean, there's so much that just I have to pinch myself, saying, "Wow, I can't believe that."
Like in that moment,
5'2", eyes of blue me is able to do something like that, and so yeah, that's that never. I don't think that'll ever stop.
Yeah,
I'll always have that moment of wow.
Like in the moment. It's something that you can't really describe to people, though.
No.
But it's something where you're just kind of like, wow. And you kind of humble yourself, but also you're like, hey, you're like patting yourself on the back. Look at how far you've come.
Exactly. If I had any dream, I guess out of high school would be cruise ships. I had a friend, I was in choir in school and all that, and a friend of mine who was part of it, he ended up going to these amusement parks and entertaining. And at that time, I had long hair, and I was this cool guy. No, I'm all about classic rock. I don't want to do that stuff. That's kind of not my bag. I wish I would have, because he did eventually get into cruise ships. So moving out here, if I can work a cruise ship some way, somehow, that would be my step. Next step is to do that.
Yeah, I know that's a big thing when you graduate in musical theater. It's a summer stock thing. They always have auditions.
Yes.
A lot of my friends have gone on there as dancers and musical theater performers or even musicians.
Yeah.
And they spend how many cruises? But it's a lot, and it's a lot. You take your time away from your family, and then sometimes I know some people are just like, oh, I just want to sit somewhere for a little bit. You're here, they're doing the same show over and over. And over
but
again.
To experience that, I'd be okay with it. And again, my wife. I mean, we had 3 cats when we moved out here. We're down to 1, but she said, "Go." That's when we moved out here. I'll gladly sit with the cat and my kids and watch TV. Do what you need to do.
And that support is
that's great.
A lot
support.
of people don't have that support, and that's absolutely amazing to hear, and it's an inspiration to others.
She's I don't want to go. She's my rock, but that's kind of weird. But she is my backbone. She's my biggest support.
Yeah, that's amazing. Shout out. to her. Because now he's
Elaine,
sitting
I
here
love you.
proud. That's absolutely amazing. So there are a couple of things that like I do want to ask you, quick questions that I'm going to ask everyone from here on out
Sure.
because I think they're going to kind of, you know, symbolize you as a person. For one, do you have a philosophy that you live by?
You mentioned humble. I definitely try to stay humble and just be a good person. You know, I mean, there's so many sizes and personalities and races, and you know, I've always been that way growing up, and I always will be. So, if I can maintain that, that's my philosophy. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then second, and these are kind of harder questions, but I mean, I put some thought. I'm sure that you've had a big journey coming up here to just be sitting here now to this day talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But is there, you know, any misconceptions that you really want to talk about that I feel people still have on you? The biggest misconception people might have of you as an artist, as a performer out here.
You know, I it's kind of when I sing the tracks at some of the restaurants in the past, and sometimes I'll have somebody come around the corner and look at me and turn their head like a dog. You know, they think I'm faking, singing wise. So, which I think it's a compliment because I'm doing my job then. So I don't know. I don't know of anything else other than that. Like I said, I try to be a nice guy to everybody.
About. Yeah, I think we all have that. That's something we always, as artists, you know, we want to prove them wrong, right? We've always had that one moment in life where we're like, someone said no, and then we're like, look at me now, you know. So I always love to hear.
I guess I'd have to think
ideas.
about that. I really do. Yeah. Outside of yes, I'm that short. No, I'm not.
You're just a really humble guy. There you go. He just loves what he does.
Yeah.
He does it, the passion of it, and that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So before we got to break.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell the audience what you're going to sing today.
I'm going to sing a song by Johnny Nash, not Cash, Johnny Nash. And it's a great song that's actually on my machine, or not my machine, but the answering machine's on my phone, you know, when you call and leave a message. At the end of it, I do a little snippet, and sometimes I forget, and when people leave a message for me, I love what you did at the end, you made my day, I'm happy now. And so it's that song. It's called I Can See Clearly Now.
So it's just that song, your positive energy, everything about you is going to be in the song. It's absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to hear you and watch you perform. It's been a pleasure. So I just have to thank you formally for being on the hot seat.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Really, please keep everyone up to date with what you're doing, and keep us up to date. I would love to have you back on and talk about any new shows that you have. Any show that we should look out for coming up soon. Before you go. There's
going to be at the Starbright Theater in Freedom Hall, and it's with the Doobie Brothers / Steve Miller act that I'm doing. I'm singing some lead stuff and playing some guitar. And again, that's February 13th, I believe.
February 13th.
And I think that's a Saturday, and then the following week is a Sunday. Go to littlebillyfisher.com.
There you go.
And hopefully I'll put it on that, or come to my Facebook page. That's Fischer, Billy Fisher.
Billy Fisher. Well, Billy, it's a pleasure. Please keep in touch. I would love to come out, support you, and have everyone else please come out and support him, this really amazing, humble, and talented musician.
Thank you
Billy
for having
Fisher.
Thank you for
Thank you so much. Please stay tuned after the break. We're going to hear Billy Fisher sing his rendition of I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash.
This show is brought to you by, let's not forget, our very own GI Connections. It's a non-profit organization that connects veterans with resources. We're also proud to recognize Prolific Arts with Sonia Scott. Painting is the expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. Let's not forget Matoma Environmental Technologies. Global research, development and manufacturing of innovative photocatalytic products. Our show is also brought to you by Carmelo Rodriguez, who is the author of a best-selling book called Smile. It's based on true events. It's the story of a couple building a family. Get your copy of his book at Amazon today. We also love our musicians. Think about Frank's Tribute, an all-star band. It's a Green Bay-based band with Let Me Be Frank's Productions, family owned by Frank Hermans, who happens to be a veteran entertainer.
see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have gone away. Here is a rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Ooh, what a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Ooh, what a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Billy Fischer, everyone, wasn't that absolutely amazing?
Thank you so
much for
Thank
sharing
you.
your talents with us. That was absolutely fantastic.
Appreciate
so
it.
make
Thank
sure
you.
to see his website and his Facebook to hear all his new shows coming up. And right after the break, we're going to have our photographer and director on here so you guys can meet her, Danielle Patton. So see you guys after the break. Make sure to stay tuned.